All right, what's up, my Tascam 2488 Neo Hippies, or better than that, what's up, my Roland Verselab MV-1 Hippies? So it seems that your man's been working on a piece for a little while, and I thought I'd come in and show you the things that I've learned how to do using the Roland Verselab. Now, the Verselab has a auto tune on it. And what I've done, let me come out of here, go into common, is in common, I have made the tone knob control the format, right? So when I'm doing that, in doing that, I was able to play with this vocal that I was messing around with. So I'm just gonna go directly to the vocal, and every time you hear it go auto tune-ish, it's me lifting the format. All right. So let's get into it. I'll let you hear it. Let me just kill all of this stuff and leave the bass and the drums. The bass, the keys, and the drums. All right. So check it out. And I'm just going to go directly to it so we don't spend a whole lot of time doing this. All right, here we go.
I was looking around for something I just didn't know, something that was gonna save me, something that was gonna show. I was looking around for your love, but I never could find. I was looking around for something I could call mine. Now I'm open. I'm in need of your love, yeah. I'm in need of you to grow. I was looking around for you, and now I'm so happy. Now I know I was holding out for someone, but I never did know. I was holding on to something. Now I know it's you I grow. Now I'm open.
Yeah, it's on like that. What? Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Wood. Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. What? Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that.
Well, let me take you to the river where I laid my problems down. Living so disconnected that I couldn't see the ground. Hiding in the kite, flying like a bee. Couldn't tell if this new world was right for me. But I got up and put on the spirit of God. To everybody standing around me, I started looking odd. Perpendicular, dressing kind of slicker. I got up in the church and I'm a brand new.
All right, so the way that you do this is not like a DAW where you have auto tune on one of your tracks and you're running it into it and coming out with auto tune. You literally have to sing like you are doing auto tune. You know, you have to do that. Okay, I don't have it on right now, but you have to do it so that you're helping push things out of tune so that you can hear the effect. I sang the whole thing as if I was on auto tune through the auto tune that was there, and then when I came back in, I think we did this months ago, where I show you how to. Well, that's to edit the sequence. Where I show you how to assign. Now, right now, because I've sampled and you know I've just done it until it's there, but go ahead and put it on the vocal processor, right? And when you are sampling from wherever you recorded your voice at, because I've cleaned this all up, go ahead and make sure you put vocal processor on tone. Put the format on the tone knob, so that you see that. So that you can manipulate it. So you take it out a little bit and bring it back out, bring it in and take it out to, a deeper tone or whatnot. I was typically going anywhere from -5 to like -15. So it's like, I was looking around for something. It was doing that. All right. And as it's sampling, you're going to be playing with that so that it can happen. There's another thing that I found out about the Roland Verselab, which is not a bad thing. It's just a thing. You know what I'm saying? Another update. Actually, I wish someone would just call me up and I would, I have a whole list. These are the things that need to be corrected. Sometimes when you are recording your vocal and you've done a whole lot, sometimes the Verselab will forget how to get back to using the de-esser, the compressor, and the threshold. So you'll have to turn the bad boy off, save what you have, turn it off. I haven't been asleep in a day and a half. Sorry about that. You'll have to turn it off and then start it back up, and then it will remember that it's also a vocal processor and you're using it. Otherwise, you're not going to hear any of the effects going in. All right. But anyway, I'm just going to let this one ride. And I also, let me bring all these tracks back in. And I also figured out the fade out for you guys too. Let me get out of here. And yeah, this is on I'm not joshing you. These are actual takes from here. And when I'm using this, I use this. I don't be using all kind of other stuff. When I'm using this, I use this. The only thing I do is I bring in my own drums. That's all. I bring in my own drums because I'm more comfortable with drums that I like. But anyway, I use the kicks out of here sometimes, but for the most part, all the tops are just dirty samples that I made because I like dirty samples. I don't like everything to sound clean. But anyway, let's get over to this. Go ahead and hit shift and mix down. And if you notice, I'm already at fade out. Go ahead and watch me press this button. I started my offset at -7. And my fade time is at 7. I have the fade curve at EXP, and my offset is at -7. Now, at this point, at the end of the song, it's gonna fade out before the song ends. All right, that's kind of what you want. I don't understand the other reason for any other. It's like you don't need a fade out if you're not trying to get to the end of the song and fade out. Anyway, so be mindful of that, and I'm just gonna let this one play. It's not mixed down or anything, but I'm going to let it play out so you can hear the fade out and all of that stuff. I'm very happy about all the things that I keep learning about this machine. I just wish that I could speak to somebody so that we can get an update that would take this bad boy as close to perfect as possible. All right. So I'm your man. I'll be up here on tomorrow with another live. This one will go a little bit more in depth. I just wanted to show you what I had done to the piece that I was working on early last week, or whenever I started doing lives last week. So let's get into it. Oh, and someone asked me if I knew anything about the manosphere. I do. Actually, my wife does some stuff on that. And if you have a topic for me, yeah, I'll be more than happy to do a live and talk about it so that you guys can spew out your complaints. It is what it is. I'll see you guys on the next video, on the next live video. Bye-bye.
Hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. What? Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. What? Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. I was looking around for something, something I just didn't know. Gonna save me, something that was gonna show. I was looking around for your life, but I never could find. I was looking around for something, something I could call mine. Now I'm open. Hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. What? Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. What? Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. I'm in need of your love, yeah. I'm in need of you to grow. I was looking around for you, and now I'm so happy. Now I know I was holding out for someone, but I never did know. I was holding on to something. Now I know what you have grown. Now I'm open. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. What? Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. What? Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that.
Well, let me take you to the river where I laid my problems down. Living so disconnected that I couldn't see the ground. Hiding in a kite, flying like a bee. Couldn't tell if this new world was right for me. But I got up and put on the spirit of God. To everybody standing around me, I started looking odd. Perpendicular, dressing kinda slicker. I got up in the church and I'm a brand new.
Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that.
That's a why. Myron Golden.
Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's on like that.
Can you hear me now? No, them asking them. Can y'all hear me now? Check, check, check. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2.
I was looking around for something I just didn't know.
You can do anything with this thing. You just got to put the time in. It's PJ, stir that pot for me and close that door for me. Yeah, you just gotta put your time in. All right, y'all can hear me. Good, 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 good. You just gotta put the time into it, man. This thing is fabulous. It's a little rushed, but it's fabulous, man. If you put the time into it, you'll find that you start to like it. You start to, like, yeah, I can, get something done, And of course, the drums that came with it are fine. But just because you own this thing doesn't mean that you have to use everything in it. You can use it for what it does. You know what I'm saying? It's a sampler. So you can use it to sample things. I don't like the MV-1. Oh man, you don't like it. I haven't been up here enough for y'all. What you don't like about it, man? This thing is amazing. It has good sounds in it. I mean, where you gonna find this bass sound here? I mean, this, and you ain't had to do nothing for this. Like, to find that sound on one of my synthesizers, I had to do something. Oh, you do better in Studio One. Of course, it's a DAW. It's all right there for you. It's all right there for you. I like Studio One. I've been messing around with Logic a little bit though. Just playing around with it. It's not my happy place. Like, Logic is definitely not my happy place yet, but we getting ready to move. So I'm selling a lot of stuff. I'm not selling the MV-1, but we're getting ready to move, and I'm getting ready to sell a lot of stuff so that I could be more effective. Especially in the game that we're in now, where trying to sell music to people, it's gotten crazy around here, man. It's gotten crazy. It's gotten to the point where you got to show up and just holler at people, because you never know. Like, I'm sitting here. Yes. My brother has a FA06. I think, no, he has the 08 with the more keys or whatever. He's one of those piano player dudes where he needs all of that special stuff. He needs the 25,000 keys and the weight and all that craziness. Have you found a couple things? Like, I realized that ain't nobody paying me to do these videos and shit. But if you find something that works for you, I would say, yeah. You got Studio One and a Roland FA06. Man, that's good, because you're still taking part in the Roland sound. Let me pull this mic over here. You're still taking part of the Roland sound and using it. But can you control AI? I tried to pull down that Kanye West voice. It was like, can I really control it though? Can I really get in there and do something with it? Because I have a song that I'm working on for my wife. I'm like, if I can pull a Whitney Houston's voice in there, me and her can sit down and we can get something really done. Yeah. Did y'all see the? I'm an MPC guy too. I got some MPCs in here. I got the live and the keys behind me, and I see that there's a MPC XSE that came out that really isn't much different from all the other MPCs, but it seemed like there was a big old tiff about it, especially because I think Av McCrae said a little something that may have been a little off collar to EA Ski, who is a producer from the old school, like from around our time. Gardner, and and there was a big old deal about that. Now, another thing you could get is an MPC. Like if you just wanted things to be, you want to get in work, just get it done easy. You go get an MPC, man. Get an MPC live, short sale, or like an MPC one, because all of the MPCs kind of work the same. The only difference you're gonna have is the chassis and what the chassis has to offer. The strong reason why you don't use it. Did you get the is it the studio where it looks like the live, but it's more of a controller, or is it? I've had so many MPCs, it's crazy. You got an MPC-1, MV-1, and just got the SH-4D. What does that? Does it sound any different from what we have in the Verselab, or does it sound like the Verselab, just in another chassis? Because I wanted to get one. I'm really trying to taper my studio down because I'm not a keyboardist, but I realize I have 9 keyboards now. And that's, 8 too many, because I'm a guitarist that makes music. And, I use keyboards and stuff, but I have a MacBook, and I also have just about every plugin you can think of. So I don't really need all these machines around me. And I was lucky enough to see this, to live long enough to see a Korg. The 4D is amazing. Not connected to Zencore at all. I'm gonna have to get one. See, look, you're hawking me equipment. Are you one of them YouTube hawker equipment guys? Are you one of them dudes, man? You gotta step off if you are, man, because I'm trying to stop buying stuff. But I'm glad to live long enough to see the Korg, micro Korg, in the VSTI formation. And of course I got the Triton too. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna set it up so that I'm on StreamYard. That way I can pull y'all up and we can all talk to each other, because that'd be cool. And we can talk about anything. We can talk about anything you want, music stuff. I don't get paid to do this, so we can get up here and just have a good time. It doesn't have to be on anything. It could, whatever you want to talk about. Nope, just a Roland fanboy. I had the 303. I got the 505. Well, the MC 505. And just before my daughter was born, I was thinking about getting a 909. I'm that guy. I don't even get much use out of them. Oh, man. The more gear you have, the less likely you will make music. I can tell you that now. But I can tell you that. Like, I'll grab my guitar and start doing stuff and then be like, I need to grab one of these keyboards because they are here. Because, I have like Machine MK3 and the Plus. I'm getting ready to sell the Plus though. And, yeah. That doggone Korg was amazing. Was it a regret because you didn't like the way it sound? Because, us Roland dudes don't tend to love Korg. We kind of get with Korg, but we don't love it. Even though I like this micro Korg and I got that Triton, it was more of I made some songs with these pieces, so I gotta have one. And this way, it's in my MacBook, I'm good. Oh, dude, you got the micro sampler. I wanted one of those. I was trying to have the whole mini keyboard thing, and right when I was getting ready to buy one, they were all gone. And the Chrome 73, I wanted that too because I was using, what is that? It was a little bitty one. It was like a Korg, not a Ranger, but it was the micro station, which kind of had some of those sounds in it, some of the Chrome sounds, but not all of them. And not in the way that Chrome sounds good. But it was one of those old keyboards where it's like I need something because I was hitting the air too often, and I just didn't want to be hauling a big old keyboard from place to place. I got that little thing for like $3.99 or $4.99, and it sounded great. Yeah, the micro was a joke. It all depends, baby. Look, I've made some good songs with water, for real, smacking on it. But when you listen to Roland stuff, it's kind of complicated to when you hear, like, if you were a Yamaha guy, like a church guy, he's never gonna get into Korg. He's never gonna get into Roland because he knows what it sounds like to have a keyboard, trigger those kind of sounds. When you're a Roland guy, you know what it's like to hear something thick and gritty. Korg guys typically like that synthy sound. So yeah, that Korg would sound like a joke to you because you used to a big bully sound, a big, that Roland sound is strong. And it's the sound of like the 90s, the 80s, the late 80s, everything. My big regret, one of my regrets of purchasing is this, what is it called? The circuit tracks. I make music to sell to people. And I had to realize that a lot of these pieces came out and they were like, I don't know, 4 counts long and just not really designed for you to make big music on. It was designed for you to tinker with. The same thing with the Roland JDXI. I had that. I gave it to my son. Sounds good. That's that synthesizer on there is fabulous. The problem is you can't do nothing with it. It's 4 tracks and there's no count in, there's nothing. It was like, who put this together? And for real, you can go and buy Studio One for the price that whole unit costs. Truthfully, this Verselab, you can get Studio One for what the Verselab costs. And you already got a strong computer. It's not like when I started getting into hardware again, it was because I didn't have a computer that was strong enough to handle the programs that I was using. And that's what the Tascam was mainly for, because I needed something I could work with. I needed to be able to finish a song and know that when I turned the machine back on, it was going to be there. And back in the day, when you did that, you had, any kind of computer other than some type of MacBook or whatever, you were not going to be hearing that song again. You weren't going to be hearing anything. And if you did hear anything, it was going to come back scrambled because everything wasn't going to be where it needed to be. When I got the Tascam, I was able to work more and sell more music. I remember for a while I was using beat packs. And I didn't like that too much either because there was no way of controlling it. Grow your own, eat your own. Send it to me. Send me a little piece of it and let's see what we can do. 'cause that's what your man does. I make music. The hardest thing in the world for me is hocking gear, because when somebody hands me something, I'm gonna learn how to use it. And once I learn how to use that bad boy, I'm gonna know just about everything you can do with the damn thing. EPS 16 plus. Did you have the plus or just the 16? I love that doggone 16. I love that one, and I also love the SR10. The only thing is, I wouldn't buy one of those for nothing in the world, because I know that they get hot, and I know that there's no fan inside of there, and I also know that it's going to be in the shop, because the new ones back in the day were in the shop. I had SRX and I had a 10 in the studio I used to work in. I learned how to use both those things, and my main problem was always with the SR10, where I had to keep it in the shop because it would get hot. It would get hot. But those EPS 16 pluses, those were amazing. The 16 was amazing. I think the plus only added effects and stuff. That was a game changer. Yeah, send it to me, Gardner, because I'm willing to work. I will work. That's what I do. I make music. I make music. I sell music. Hocking equipment is not my thing. I get something, and like someone like, hey man, you said it was all this. It is all this. I mean, for me, when I get something, I'm going to use it. I'm going to keep on using it. It's like this. I've made the money that I paid for this thing, this Verselab, maybe 10 or 15 times over. And I've made just about that much music with it. The same thing with most of the pieces in here. I don't have a bad piece of gear. I just have a piece of gear that isn't very effective for me. Like, the circuit isn't very effective for me. I can't sit in front of it and come away with something that I'm like, yeah, this is good. But like, I had a chord cross, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I got with it, and I got with it, you know? Wow. You're living in Candyland when you work at a music store. My brother worked at Guitar Center when it opened. That was crazy going in there. He used to come home with all kinds of stuff. Like, hey man, look, I just bought this. I'm like, are you even cashing your checks, or are you just giving them the money back to people? Yeah. What I had, I sent a couple things. I had one of those Korg, I think it was the 32 track with all the sounds on it and stuff. Or was it a 24 track one? It was hot. It was getting hot. I had the Fostex 16 track digital studio. That was a hot mess. Uh, yeah, but like if I was in a different situation, I probably would have gotten rid of the Verselab. But I've learned so much about it that it's complicated. You know, it's complicated for me to get rid of it because I've learned to love it. And really, if I could talk to somebody from Roland, like one-on-one, be like, look, man, this is a dope piece of gear, but you got to do something. You got to add some things, or let's just do a Mark II of this thing, because it would be amazing as a Mark II situation or in a really intense update. But like I said earlier, I'm no good at hocking equipment. That's probably why I don't come up here very much, because it's like I make music. I like to like, you hand me your piece of music and I send you something, you send me something back, and we keep on going back and forward. That's kind of what I do. I'm not very good at, you know, getting a new piece of gear every week and trying to sell it to somebody. That's just, I can't do it, because I got to make music. I'm in the game to make music, and it's complicated for me. I wake up with stuff on my mind. Like, I'm finishing this from last year. It's like I got caught up, and I was like, okay, well, let me go back and grab something that I didn't finish up last year, so that I can say at least I finished this stuff. Really? I guess because all the menu stuff, all the I think I'm gonna have to slow that down because when I first did it, it wasn't it wasn't in a DAW. I did it freehand, like I played the drums with my hand and all of that stuff. And then when you get in the DAW, I'm still learning this one. I'm kind of learning to like it a little bit, but it's the only one that allows me to do these lives. That's the reason why I depend on it. But if I could, I would be in Studio One because with Studio One, I'm able to. Yeah, I'm gonna call you. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm gonna email me your phone number again because what happens is this. On that phone, that is my music phone, and I get so many calls from people who want music every day that it's hard for me to like once I go through there and take all the messages off, then there's a whole handful of new ones. Because people are calling me all the time. It's like a lot of cats call me. It's like, hey man, I want a song, blah 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 blah. They talk out talk out my time, and then when I call them back and say, okay, well look, I got the song, and like here's this is our financial arrangement, blah blah blah, and then you know they welch out or they get flaky and shit like that. It's interesting hawking music. It makes you just want to go get a regular job. But the only thing about this doing music and a regular job is this. I wake up when I feel like it and get this job done. Of course, I have deadlines and stuff. Like if you and I are working on something, all right, I got to have it done by Friday. But, for the most part, I get to live my life. Like I'm leaving town at the end of the week, knock something out, come back home, and I could sleep a month if I wanted to. when you got a job, you got to get up every day and go and do that. Of course, there's other things you can do as a musician too, like audio, visual, and stuff like that. But yeah, Gardner, give me a holler, man, because I would love to work on a song with you because you're a bass player. And I like working on tunes with bass players. Bass players are always amazing. They're always amazing. It's like I know this song is going to be full because you are a bass player. You're going to fill those spaces up that don't normally get filled up when you with other kind of cats. Yeah, and you're retired. See, you can hook something up. You can you can chill out for a month if you wanted to. It's kind of complicated because you got to get up and do stuff, especially New Orleans people. We got to get into something all the time, but that's the greatest thing about being a musician. I love being a musician. I used to hate that I hear music all the time. Now I just love it. Now I just, I've gotten used to it. I can hear something in my head. I know I got the stuff to get it done and get it out and move on to the next thing. Truthfully, I married my wife because when I was around her, I couldn't hear it. Like I couldn't hear the music. I could only, I could be at peace. Then we started having them babies, Sleep all day sometimes. That's what I'm talking. Have the TV on in the background. I know what you mean. Especially after you get that lick. Like I get that one lick and it's like, oh, all right. I got a month and a half if I need to do anything for real. All right, so look, someone asked me about this manosphere thing that people are talking about, where husbands and wives or young ladies who don't want to get married or whatever. And if you guys want to get up here and talk with me, I'm gonna put StreamYard on here tomorrow. And if y'all want to talk about some manosphere stuff, you want to talk about some music stuff, you want to talk about whatever, I'm up here. Send me your phone number, Terry. I'm sorry. Send me your phone number, Gardner. Your wife is your worst critic. I don't know. My wife want me to write her a song. I've been working on something for her. Birthday's coming up, so I'm gonna oblige her. But like, sometimes the women in your life think that they can sing like the superstars, and they'll realize this stuff takes time. My brother's my worst critic. Sometimes me and him almost come to blows on some stuff. Like, that's how you gonna play that part? Like, yeah, that's how I'm gonna play that part. I mean, that's the only way to play it. You're like, sit down, let me show you something. It's like, you can't show me nothing. I know everything you know. And then he sits down and he plays it. I'm like, yeah, you did a good job, but this is music to sell. This ain't, we ain't in a jam where you're playing every chord known to man in the scale. I'm like one of my homeboys, I call him brother also. He's a bass player, and he will fill up all the spaces. There won't be no spaces left when he's when he's finished. He will fill up all the holes. Here, let me give it to you. Let me put it up here. I'm 10 computer man. There you go. Now, I'm going to holler at y'all. I'm going to be up here tomorrow. I'm going to be up here just about every day up until Thursday, because I'm leaving for Atlanta on Thursday. So I'll be on the road. And I'll probably, from where I am, it'll take me about 13 hours to get there. And I'm going to see you, Terry, I think at the end of July, because I'm working with a cat out in New Orleans. And he's setting me up on Canal Street. So we're going to be working too. Oh, yeah. Keep it on the one, funk, man. You know it. And that's another thing. I'm only doing what I do. I'm done trying to match up and mash in. I'm coming on here and I'm just going to be us. And anybody who want to rock with me, come on, rock with me. I'm your man. If you have a piece of gear that I don't have, I do read manuals back and forward, and I learn how to use stuff that I ain't even touched. So I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. And y'all keep it funky. And holla at me, Terry. I keep on saying your government name. Holla at me, Gardner. Y'all have a good one.